Let's go, lose control. Step aside on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control. 3, 2, 1, drop it.
Dame tu cosita, dame tu cosita, ay, dame tu cosita, dame tu cosita, Hercules is a Greek and Roman god. That's father, a god, is Zeus, and his mother, mortal, was Alchemy, the granddaughter of Perseus, also the son of Zeus. He is famous for going through 12 labors. Hera, the wife of Zeus, was enraged that Zeus had an affair with another woman, so she sent 2 venomous snakes to kill Hercules when he was a baby. Instead of dying by the snakes, Hercules strangled the snakes and killed both with his bare hands. So in another attempt to ruin Hercules, Hera made Hercules go insane and kill his wife and his children. After his temporary insanity, he was ashamed and shocked at what he had done. Hercules sought out Apollo's oracle of Delphi, the same one Achelous used. The oracle told him that in order to redeem himself, he had to serve the king Eurystheus for 12 years. King Eurystheus then sent him out to complete 10 heroic labors. The first labor King Eurystheus sent Hercules to do was to kill the Nemean lion that was also the child of Zeus. After tracking the lion, he found out the lion's skin was impenetrable, and his arrow did nothing. Hercules then strangled the lion to death. He then skinned the lion and with its own claws and wore it as a cloak. King Eurystheus sent Hercules for his second labor to kill the 9-headed Hydra, who was also said to be raised by Hera. Because whenever you cut off a head of Hydra, 2 other heads grow back, Hercules asked his cousin to help him kill the Hydra. Once at Lake Lerna, Hercules cut off each head, and his cousin burned the stump so that it wouldn't grow back. But the king rejected this task and added another one. Eurystheus and Hera were greatly angered to find that Hercules had managed to escape from the claws of the Nemean and the fangs of the Lernarian, so they decided to spend more time thinking up a third task that would spell doom for the hero. The third task did not involve killing a beast, as it had already been established that Hercules could overcome even the most fearsome opponents. So Eurystheus decided to make him capture the female Cernian hind, as it was so fast that it could outrun an arrow. After chasing the quick beast for over a year, he finally captured it. But he was confronted by a goddess, who claimed that the animal was sacred, but after explaining his situation, she let him go without any punishment. Fourth, Hercules used a giant net to snare the terrifying man-eating wild boar of Mount Erymanthus. The Augean stables, Hercules' 5th task, was supposed to be humiliating, as well as impossible. Cleaning all the dung out of King Eurystheus' enormous stables in a single day? However, Hercules completed the job easily, flooding the barn by diverting 2 nearby rivers. Hercules is then ordered to go to the Stymphian lake and rid it of flock of man-eating birds. Some say that he did this by causing a bronze rattle, which he shakes and shakes until they are scared away. Others say that he shoots them with all his Hydra-poisoned arrows. The savage Cretan bull, kept by King Minos of Crete, was said to be insane and breathe fire. Hercules wrestled the mad beast to the ground and brought it back to King Eurystheus. Unfortunately, the king set it free and it roamed Greece, causing terror wherever it went. Hercules' eighth challenge was to capture the four man-eating horses of Thracian king Diomedes. He brought them to Eurystheus, who dedicated the horses to Hera and set them free. For the ninth labor, Hercules had to take the girdle of the Amazonian queen. The Amazonian queen was so impressed that Hercules could fight off her that she gave the girdle without argument, perhaps while visiting him on his ships. Then, the goddess Hera, making herself appear as one of the Amazonians, spread a rumor among that Hercules and his crew were abducting the queen. So the Amazonians attacked the ship. And in the fray that followed, Hercules slew Hippolyta, stripped her of the belt, fought off the attackers, and sailed away. The 10th labor is a pretty intense one. Hercules has to sail all the way to an island called Erythea, which is way out in what we now call the Atlantic Ocean. To the ancient Greeks, this was the end of the world. They called the Atlantic Oceanus and thought of it as a giant river that encircled the world. On the island of Erythea, there is a giant named Geryon. Who has 3 bodies and 3 sets of legs, all connected at the waist. It is Hercules' job to fetch Geryon's beautiful herd of cattle, which are colored red by the sunset. To get the job done, Hercules borrows a giant golden cup from the sun god Helios and sails across the Mediterranean Sea to the island of Erythea. Before he can take the cattle, Hercules has to kill the giant Erytheon and his 2-headed dog who guards them. After that, Geryon himself comes to fight him. But Hercules takes out the 3-bodied giant with some massive whacks of his trusty club. Then Hercules herds the cattle into his golden cup boat and sails back to Greece. Wait a minute, didn't your thesis say that there was only supposed to be 10 labors? Well, when Hercules got back with the red cattle of Geryon, Eurystheus pulled a fast one on him. The wimpy king tells him that he's not going to count the killing of the Hydra because Iolaus helped Hercules. He also won't count Hercules' cleaning of the Augean stables because he used the river to do it, instead of his own manpower. Whatever, Hercules says, I can do anything. Eurystheus tells Hercules to go fetch some golden apples from the nymphs known as the Hesperides. Incidentally, these golden apples were Hera's wedding gift when she married Zeus. To get the apples, Hercules enlists the help of the Titan Atlas, who is doomed by Zeus to hold the sky upon his back. Hercules tells Atlas that he'll hold the sky up for a little bit while the Titan goes fetches some lovely golden apples. Atlas, who is seriously sick of the holding up the sky, agrees. When he comes back with the apples, however, he suggests that Hercules keep the sky on his shoulders while Atlas delivers the apples to Eurystheus. Hercules thinks this sounds suspiciously like a trick. Our hero agrees and then says that he needs a quick rest and asks for Atlas can hold the sky for a little bit longer. When Atlas holds the sky, Hercules takes the apples and brings them to Eurystheus. For the 12th and final labor, Eurystheus thinks up pretty much the worst thing possible he can imagine. Hercules has to bring back the 3-headed hellhound, Cerberus, Hades' vicious beast that guards the gates of the underworld. Hercules makes his way down under and pops in on Hades, god of the dead. While in the palace, Hercules comes across his fellow Greek hero Theseus and another dude named Pirithous with their butts stuck to a bench. The story goes that Theseus had pretty stupidly agreed to help his buddy Pirithous try to woo Persephone, Hades' wife. As punishment, Hades magically glued them to a bench. Hercules pulls with all his might and yanks Theseus from the bench, leaving only a thin layer of his bottom on the bench. Ouch! When Hercules tries to pull Perseus up, however, the underworld starts shaking. Hades is not happy. Hercules and Theseus decide to ditch Perseus and head on their way. Hercules goes before Hades and asks to borrow Cerberus for a bit, so that the hero can complete his final labor. Hades is cool with it, as long as Hercules can wrestle the three-headed dog into submission without using any weapons. No worries, says Hercules. Our hero finds Cerberus and squeezes the animal with his muscle-bound arms. Cerberus bites and scratches and puts up quite a fight, but Hercules refuses to let go. Eventually, Cerberus realizes he's been beaten and chills out. Hercules takes Cerberus back for Eurystheus to see and then returns the hellhound to Hades. After his 12 trials, King Eurystheus was astonished by his feats and redeemed him of killing his wife and children. Later in his life, Hercules had a number of other adventures, rescuing the princess of Troy, battling for control of Mount Olympus, but none were as taxing or as significant as the labors he had been doing. When he died, Athena carried him to Olympus on her chariot. According to the legend, he spent the rest of eternity with the gods.
Dame tu cosita,